everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing the start of a new, I'm not sure if this will be a series or how many of these videos I will do, but I've had a request from a viewer. She only has paper pads, and she was asking me how she could do a layout with only the paper pads, so with no other embellishments or puffy stickers or ephemera or anything like that. So the only thing that I could think of are all my die cuts with the view pads, and I've got quite a few of these. And this Magnolia Way stack was the first paper stack I ever bought, and this is my second Magnolia Way stack. The first one I hacked to pieces and used completely, and then when I saw this, I just had to get it again because it's just beautiful, and the memories it brings for me, it's just the fact that it was my first one was just beautiful. So anyway, so I thought to myself I could try and make a layout with only the elements in this stack. So you'll see that there are a lot of pattern papers. There's this one would be quite easy, as the composition of the page is quite done for you already. You can put your photo here, or you can put your photo over there, and just have basic embellishments. So with these kind of paper stacks, they do some of the work for you in creating layouts for you. With a paper like this, you could always just fussy cut out the flowers and then use them as embellishments or ephemera on your other papers. This is again one of the pages that has the composition sort of figured out for you already, and you can just stick your photo over there and have some other embellishments going up the other side. This is a nice element that they've included in the stack, some 6x6 versions of the paper. This would be a very nice background paper. Again, compositions done for you. You can have your photo here or a photo there, or two photos on either side. This is very nice for backing. I would back a cut file with this paper, or die cut some leaves out or something. This is quite dark though, or have it as a frame on framing a 12x12 layout. Again, composition made for you. Very nice background paper. Also use this for some die cut backing. So you can see this, you can fussy cut out and use some the flowers as ephemera. So there's lots you can do with these paper stacks. This is you can obviously, this is to cut apart. This is a cut apart sheet, nice for a background paper. And as you go on through this, you'll see here some more 6x6 that you can use, some more sheets that have the composition sorted out for you, and then obviously this sheet that you can either use as is or as I'm going to use it, and I'm going to fussy cut some of these butterflies out. So I hope that this helps, that this video will help some of you in getting to use these stacks. They are quite economical, these paper stacks. I have quite a few of them, and I love using them just to fill out some of the kits that I make myself, or to even just use as some filling out paper if I use some of my American craft collections or any of that. So what I'm going to do is, I have decided I'm going to fussy cut some of, where is that now? Fussy cut some of this out. You do get two sheets in the stack, two of each design. So I fussy cut this one sheet out already, and I fussy cut some of the butterflies out. And I am going to go ahead and get started on the layout. So first things first, I've taken some white cardstock, and I am just going to be arranging these little bits that I cut out from the cut apart sheet. And I'm going to be changing the arrangement throughout the video quite a couple of times, because I didn't take a photo of this specific arrangement and I couldn't remember how it was. So every time I put the bits back there in a different arrangement. But it's basically you know, it'll be the same composition in the end. So what I was trying to do is have the cutter parts in the center of the layout, and then sort of spread out the butterflies in a diagonal from the bottom left to the top right hand corner of the layout. And to just add some extra texture to this layout, I am going to do some stitching around these cutter parts, and I'm going to be using some pink embroidery thread, almost that same cerise pink that those bigger butterflies are. And you'll see there I've done some stitching, and that word beauty, I've done some stitching with the beauty, and the joy as well, I stitched over that. However, the believe and the strength I did not stitch over. I don't have those embroidery colors, and I didn't want to accent those colors more than what they are right there. So I needed to do something on that background, so I got out my Heidi Swapp color excuse me, my Heidi Swapp color shine, and I used some Citron and some gold color shine just to give some splatters in that same diagonal line that I wanted to place the butterflies. And I am going to be popping up those the little cutter parts on some foam squares, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was lined up, not perfectly, but just not, you know, skew, so that it would bother the viewer or the person that's looking at the layout, or someone. I mean, I'm not very bothered about things, you know, my things doesn't have to be absolutely perfectly lined up and straight, but those, because those are quite large cutter parts, those two horizontal ones, they had to be lined up. So I am going to doodle around the perimeter of my layout, the outside of the layout, and also around the edges of the of those cutter parts. I just did a fine black little line just so that they pop out a little bit more. And you'll see here my I'm just placing my butterflies around there again, just so that I can see where I wanted them. And at this stage I still didn't have a photo. I had to go look for a photo that I could use, and unfortunately I've dropped my external hard drive with everything on it. I mean, there's over 12 years of photos on there, and it's the only copy I have. I know, I am, yeah, just a sigh. That's all I can say. And it's been at the advanced data recovery now for over 10 days, so I hope that they can get it back. But I found this photo lying in one of my little containers on my desk with the photos on, with some photos in, some extra photos I have. And I have scrapped this photo of my eldest daughter before, but I felt that the colors worked really well with this, with the colors of this collection. And I mean, her little bathing suit is the same sort of cerise pink than the butterflies, and it has some yellow in it, and I wanted to bring in a brighter color, like a bright yellow to this layout, not overpowering or overwhelming. There's quite a lot of gold on there, and that mustardy yellow of the that cutter part butterfly, and on the little cutter part piece with the word believe on it, that's a mustardy color. So I didn't want to bring in overwhelming yellow, but just a little bit. And that photo, the yellow in the back of that photo, works really well. And you'll see how I bring in the rest of the yellow now in a little bit. So I am just going to be sticking those butterflies down just in the centers and have their wings pop up a little bit. I think after the video is finished, I don't think I've done it yet, but I am planning on going in and putting some foam squares just behind the butterfly wings, so that the centers are flush to the paper and the wings are popped up a little bit, just so that they have some more dimension. So I felt that the photo was a bit lost and looked a bit bare, so I do a doodle around the edges of the photo with my Sharpie, just so that the ink doesn't smudge. I don't have another title for this page. I'm going to call this page Beauty, because it's the word that jumps out of all the words on the page. For me, that word jumps out the most. So I'm just going to be having that. And I don't know if you can see, but on her little swimsuit there is a butterfly as well. So this photo does really work well with this layout. I did fussy cut out 2 more green butterflies just to put in there and below the photo. And so this is how I'm bringing in the yellow. I took out my Pink Fresh Studio enamel dots, and I'm just going to be scattering them around very randomly, and I'm going to be using the teeny tiny ones and then just the 2 sizes up from there. I'm not going to use the big ones. I just wanted something very small to bring in some more yellow, and you don't really see it now, but I think in the photos at the end and the stills at the end and in real life you can really see that yellow. It pops up and it brings out the yellow in the photo quite nicely. I've got these little dots as well. I think they are enamel dots as well, but they're very flat and they are tiny, so they work really well as well. And I am going to be using the yellow ones also just to scatter some of that yellow around there. As you'll see, I did go in with my pen just to highlight the insides of all the little bodies of the butterflies, and that's it. If you have any questions, or if you would like to see me do anything more specific, please leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.